Hello, ST Math friends, and welcome back. My name is Claire Asander Carter, and I'm the Director of Professional Learning at Mind Research Institute. If you missed the first webinar, we talked about logging in, navigating the GG console, and managing your curriculum. In today's short webcast, we're going to focus primarily on usage recommendations. Then, we'll take a quick tour through the reports and the alerts that might interest you during this time that you're separated from your students. And then I'm going to share some resources and recommendations for encouraging progress. You may be wondering, and your parents may be asking, how much time should my child be spending in ST Math? Well, students love ST Math and they adore GG. They are going to want to play a lot. But we do have some data-based recommendations. About how much time should be spent in the program? Well, preschoolers should spend about 30 minutes a week. Kindergarten and first grade, about 60 minutes per week. And the older grades, about 90 minutes per week. Now, the sessions should be between 20 and 30 minutes long. It's important to play long enough for them to engage in productive struggle, that really challenging problem solving, but not so long that fatigue sets in. Students also benefit from a break to synthesize what they've learned. That's where you can talk about what they've learned with them, have them write about it, or even illustrate what they've learned. Before I dive right into the reports in the live version of ST Math, let me give you a brief overview. You can access the reports from your class card. Remember, every section of the class card will take you to a different part of your class. So if you click the syllabus progress section, that will take you right to the reports. Now we're going to do just a brief navigation of the reports. We're going to look at the reports tab, and in particular look at the different kinds of reports that we have in the program. We're going to focus in on the progress report and that second one, the usage report. We'll talk specifically about this report called the progress report. In particular, we're going to look at syllabus progress and last session. We'll also dive a little bit into the alerts tab and talk about the alerts and what you can do about those. So, if you'll join me, let's log in to ST Math. In our last webinar, I reviewed login process, but if you missed it, let's do it once again. Here I am at stmath.com. Feel free to open up an internet browser window and go to stmath.com and follow along. I'm going to click the login button in the upper right-hand corner. But before I do, let me point out some new resources we have for you during this time of school closure. Here in the purple band, you'll see that we have a special site to take you to some resources that we've identified for you. One thing that's really neat on that page is our counter. Since March 14th, we have added over 750,000 students, 21,000 homes, and almost 3,000 schools. Down lower on this screen, you're going to see a link for family math resources. Those are some great things that you can use at home. In addition, we have some blogs and some learning there for you to access if you'd like to learn even more about ST Math. To log into the program, we're going to click Login in the upper right-hand corner, and then we're taken to the general login screen. Kids can log in by clicking GG in the center, teachers by clicking the upper right-hand corner. Remember, Flash Player stops the loading of this page. Just give it a second. You may have to allow Flash Player. Now that we have our login credential space, enter your username and password, click Login, and away we go. Now I'm going to change my screen view here just briefly for you and change to a teacher page. All right, now remember, these are our class cards and every section is a different section of your class. We're going to click on the syllabus progress section to open the syllabus progress report. Here we are at the progress report. Now remember, we were going to focus on syllabus progress. As you can see, Every student's journey is different and everybody works at their own pace. Don't worry too much about syllabus progress, but please be aware that if students are not saving their work properly, they do not make progress. A good way to check to see if students are saving their work properly is this last session column. If the last session makes sense or corresponds to the last time you know they were playing in the program, then you know they're saving their work every time they log off. But students who are not saving their work, their last session won't make sense. It'll be too long ago. Another really great thing to watch in your syllabus progress report is this current objective column. As you can see, when I clicked to sort it, I've put them all in alphanumeric order. And as you can see, there's one student working on skip counting and a couple of students working on counting within groups. And then we've got a couple of students on addition or 3 students rather, on addition and subtraction. This is what I wanted to show you. See all these little dots underneath the objective? That indicates that Alexandra is struggling on addition and subtraction. So does this column here. That's our alerts. We say at ST Math, the bigger the bubble, the bigger the trouble. There's something going on here with Alexandra. She's struggling. In addition, Sandy has a lot of tries at this objective. We don't have any tries at skip counting, but Gabby has an alert as well. So those are some things to watch. So let's go to the alerts. We can go there by clicking on one of the bubbles or by clicking the Alerts tab at the top. Here at the Alerts tab, we can get a little bit more information about what's going on with these students. So I can see that Alexandra and Sandy have a high number of tries at these levels. They've passed the levels, however, it took them quite a lot of tries. You might want to set up a one-on-one time with them to review these objectives and the math that was in them. You can go to Test Drive to play these objectives too, in order to be prepared to talk to them about it. As you can also see, Gabby has extra plays. That means she's playing the green levels that have been completed and not playing the gray. Time to reach out to Gabby and see what's going on. It might be that she really loves the skip counting game, or it might be that she doesn't know where to go next, or it could be that you haven't activated the home access for more objectives for Gabby. Jason and Joel are level canceling. What that means is they're playing a game and they lose a GG and they go back and refresh the game and get their GG back and keep playing. Encourage Jason and Joel in academic risk-taking. Be willing to lose the GGs in order to learn. Level canceling prevents students from seeing that informative feedback to learn from their mistakes. As you can see, there's another report on here, decreasing quiz score. That means that Jeremy, Ari, and Michael had a lower post-quiz score than they did a pre-quiz score. You might check with them too, and just to see that they've mastered the content. There's a lot of useful information in the alerts, but that's enough for now. Let's go back to the Reports tab. We're going to look at one more report, and that's the usage report. If you go to the drop-down menu next to the report, where it says Progress, and unfold that menu by clicking the down arrow, you'll see the usage report. Click Usage, and you'll see its detailed usage report for your students. That will give you a clue as to how much time per week they're spending in the program. This is a great thing for you to track and monitor so that your students are reaching that 30, 60, or 90-minute threshold. That's a lot of data and reports for one session. Let's get back to the webinar. If you remember, I mentioned watching the last session column. As you can see, Most of my students are logging in and have logged in on a regular basis. I've got a couple of students that haven't logged in since the beginning of March. I would check with them to see if perhaps they're not saving their work. If students don't exit the program properly, it doesn't save their progress. The best indicator is this last session button. Exiting ST Math takes several steps. As you can see, there are 6 steps. Back, 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 back. Oh my goodness, back. Let me show you that in a video that explains the exiting process. If you remember, I mentioned watching the last session column. As you can see, most of my students are logging in and have logged in on a regular basis. I've got a couple of students that haven't logged in since the beginning of March. I would check with them to see if perhaps they're not saving their work. If students don't exit the program properly, it doesn't save their progress. The best indicator is this last session button. Exiting ST Math takes several steps. There are 6 steps. Back, 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 back. Let me show you that in a video that explains the exiting process. You can find that exit video on ST Math Central. Just use the search function and put in exiting. I want to emphasize one thing about the exiting process. Stop at today's accomplishments and celebrate. Celebrate the student's levels completed or percent increase or minutes or even puzzles. I highly recommend using some sort of tracking sheet. If you don't want to use a tracking sheet, then create a thermometer that the students fill it in towards 100%. Or they can use Gigi on a timeline. Here are some examples of some fun things that teachers have done. Now, I know that you're separate from your students right now, but you might even want to keep a class record of ST Math progress while they're apart from you. Create a little bulletin board or a little picture that you can film it, and you can share student progress with your students on a weekly basis. Either that or have them make one and have them share their progress with you. Not only do students love to track their progress, but they also love to be on camera. So have them take a picture of themselves recording their progress. Better yet, have them record a video of themselves telling you what they've learned and where they are in the program. We have lots more webinars coming your way. Also some videos on YouTube, keyword ST Math, or follow the Mind Research Library. There's more learning on ST Math Central, and check out those self-guided online courses. They are amazing. There's the link to ST Math Central if you'd like it. Please feel free to reach out to support at any time. support@mindresearch.org, 1-888-491-6603. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this mini webinar. We look forward to seeing you again.